What's up, guys? Back for another Honkai Star video. This time we're talking about Yunli, as Yunli is going to be the rerun banner that comes out with Tribi. Now, this is Yunli's first rerun, which it's well warranted considering how many characters skipped ahead of her and got their second reruns before her, and just skipped ahead and just had a straight up rerun before she did. Um, you know, I wouldn't say it's like too long. Like, she should have rerun like a while ago. I think it's fine right now. But we definitely had a few people who were skipping in line, right? Regardless, though, let's go over the character's kit. Um, you know, Eidolons, even though I never really say something for Eidolons, we gotta go over them regardless. If she needs her light cone or not, and then I'll give my thoughts on Yunli, as I do have her and her light cone and have used her quite a bit. Before we actually get into talking about the kit, though, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you have Yunli and enjoy her, and if you're gonna summon or not, and all that stuff. But anyway, Yunli is a 5-star physical destruction character. She has the cool ability, just like Argenti, to have 2 ultimates. This means that when you hit 120 energy, you get 1 ult, and then at 240 you get a second ult. Meaning, if you wanted to, you could activate the ult. It goes off, and then you activate it yet again right afterwards. Very cool. We don't really have a lot of characters who do this, so I mean, I would be genuinely okay if they wanted to like put this on a few more characters, because you know how Hoyo is with their mechanics. We have Donheng, who has the whole skill points thing, and then they never do it again for some reason. But regardless, this is not about Donheng, this is about Yunli. So Yunli's basic attack is the classic 100% attack, single target, yada yada. Her skill restores HP equal to 30% of Yunli's attack plus 200, deals physical damage equal to 120 of her attack on a single target enemy, and physical damage equal to 60% of Yunli's attack to adjacent targets. This is a pretty cool skill because not many characters can heal themselves, unless obviously you're an abundance character, right? But having a sustain in a counter units kit is very, very nice. Something that I kind of wanted for Clara when I used her, just because I didn't have her light cone, and I found if she got hit too much, we get a little too close to dying back when the game first released. So Yunli having that was so good. Then her ultimate, which is going to be a doozy, consumes 120 energy. Yunli gains parry and taunts all enemies, lasting until the end of the next ally or enemy's turn. Increases the crit damage dealt by Yunli's next counter by 100%. When triggering the counter effect from talent, launches counter Cole instead and removes the parry effect. If no counter is triggered while parry is active, Yunli will immediately launch the counter Slash on a random enemy target. Slash is the weaker one, Cole is the stronger one. Slash deals 220 of her attack to the target and deals physical damage equal to 110 of her attack to adjacent targets. Cold deals physical damage equal to 220 of Yunli's attack to the target and deals physical damage equal to 110 of Yunli's attack to adjacent targets. Then, additionally, deals 6 instances of damage, each dealing physical damage equal to 72% of her attack to a random single enemy. When Yunli deals damage via this ability, it's considered as dealing ultimate damage, which is actually really clutch. Then her talent, when Yunli gets attacked by an enemy target, additionally regenerates 15 energy and immediately launches a counter on the attacker, dealing physical damage equal to 120 for attack to the attacker and 60 to adjacent targets. If there's no immediate target to counter, then counter a random enemy target instead. Pretty much how you use Yunli is she gets hit, she counters. Then you would click on her ultimate right before an enemy attacks. You have to make sure the enemy actually is attacking you. If they buff themselves or they do whatever, it's not going to work, and you'll get the weaker of the two. But it shouldn't be too hard as long as you fight. That really, if you have to do a second run, it's not too bad. The first run could be okay. I know this is when they attack, this is when they attack, this is when they don't attack, and then you can go in a second time and just get the run right. But Yunli does require some knowledge on the enemies. Luckily, she has a foolproof ways to help her out. First off, her technique, this unit gains the ward effect, lasts for 20 seconds. During this time, upon entering combat by either attacking enemy or receiving an attack, immediately cast into a coal on a random enemy, increase the damage dealt by the attack by 80%. So you just get a free good hit in. Then, her bonus traces, when using a counter, increases her attack by 30% for one turn, while in the parry state, resists crowd control debuffs received and reduces damage received by 20%. Then the last one, after each use of Slash, the next Slash will be replaced by Colt. This means if you miss time the counter and you get the weaker one, even if you were to mess it up a second time, it will always be the stronger of the two attacks. This means that if you mess up or really bad with your ult, or you're just playing on like auto, it will save yourself and you'll do the big slash after you messed up once, which results in more damage. Her bonus stats are actually pretty good, gives her 28% attack, 18% HP, and 6.7 crit rate. Crit rate, so she can crit obviously attack, because that's what she scales off of, and HP to take a few more hits. Now, as always, I don't really say go for dupes unless you really like the character, but let's talk about those real quick. E1 increases damage dealt by slash and coal by 20%, increases the number of additional damages instances by coal by 3. This is overall just a damage increase on her counters. Well, sorry, the ultimate counters, not the talent counter, which is just, her throwing her sword, right? Then her E2, while dealing damage via counter, ignores 20% of the target's defense. You all know how strong ignore defense is, so just big damage buff. Blech, I can speak right now. E4, after launching, Slasher Cool increases unit's effect res by 50%, lasting for one turn. Just makes sure she can't get CC'd, nothing too crazy. And then E6, while parry is active, if an enemy actually uses their abilities, regardless of whether it hits Yunli or not, will trigger Coal and remove the parry effect. When dealing damage via Slash or Coal, increases crit by 15% and physical res pen by 20%. Pretty good. A lot more damage, helps with the counters, not much to it. All her dupes are pretty much just damage increases, nothing too quality of life. I guess this one technically is quality of life, right? Because it's effect res, but mostly her dupes are just increasing damage. Nothing too crazy, like how Firefly does new skill points, it gets an extra action. I don't know why I just singled out her. Aventurine has like the ult, gives shield stuff. Not like game changing for Yunli, unfortunately, right? I do wish that they gave her something along the lines of maybe having her have like an innate taunt on one of her dupes. But regardless, she still hits pretty damn good with these dupes. I think Yunli hits just hard enough on her own, right? Her best teammates are pretty much going to be Robin, Ho, and Ting Yan, mostly for the two energy buffers, and since her ultimate and her follow-up count as, well, follow-up attacks, right? I'm talking about this one, by the way, the talent counter, because there's the talent counter, which is like Claws, when you get hit, you counter, and then there's the ultimate counter, which is the big sword attack, or the somewhat big sword attack if you do mess it up. These are both follow-up attacks, so Robin is going to help out a bunch there. You can run her with Sunday as well, because Sunday gives energy and can action advance, which will lead to you using your skill to get some more energy and just doing a little bit more damage. Ting Yun, lots of energy, lots of energy, and can heal. Yunli will need some sort of healing. Unfortunately, the skill isn't enough on its own to keep her fully healed up. In terms of her light cone is good, but there's one line of text that really saves it, and that gives her a innate chance to taunt, very similar to the Japard light cone, where she has a higher chance of getting hit. This will not only make your survivability better, because Yunli should be the tank of the team, quote unquote, right? Depending on who you're running with. I've run her with Aventurine before, just as like a full counter type team where we have a bunch of characters who, when they get hit, they counter attack, right? But regardless of that, she's pretty much kind of like the tank. Plus, it helps you not have your other characters get hit, like Ting Yun, or any other support who might not have the most tankiest build or the most HP. And it just gets off more damage. Plus, it also generates energy. It's just overall a big W. Do you need it? No, but it's going to be a little weird to play Yunli without it. I highly recommend, if you are trying to play Yunli, try to grab her light cone, as it has a really, really good effect. And then overall will just increase her damage. Now, should you summon for Yunli? If you like counter units, I say go for it, right? Obviously, we could get a new counter unit at any time. Mide is not a counter unit, and Trivia is not a counter unit. I don't know if they're going to decide to do another counter unit anytime soon. It did take us quite a bit to get Yunli. I would be all for it, but if you are a fan of the counter gameplay, I say she is still meta relevant enough to grab and not feel like you wasted it. Do note though that she is a little bit old, so don't be expecting you to zero cycle and with one hit everything. You're gonna have to give her a little bit of love before she's gonna be outputting all these numbers, but she still is a strong contender and is pretty useful in every single game mode. Pure Fiction is going to require you to get hit a lot though, so do keep that in mind. If you struggle a bit, that's mostly just because the pure fiction enemies just don't want to hit you. It is what it is. Other than that, that's pretty much going to be it. I highly recommend, if you already have DPSs, to go ahead and skip Yunli. Unfortunately, DPSs are the characters who age the worst in this game. I mean, it's Honkai Sport Rail for a reason, right? But like I said, if you do like her, feel free to pick her up. Don't be discouraged. She still is really good. But like I said, that's it for the video. Let me know what you think of you in the comments. If you're going for dupes, if you're going for her, if you're going for her light cone because you missed the first time. Maybe you're going for her light cone because it's really good on Clara. Let me know in the comments. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next video.